People with low self-esteem struggle with a variety of problems. Daily life comes with additional challenges for them. I'm going to describe to you some of the most common low self-esteem struggles that you may encounter regularly if you have low self-esteem. Self-sabotaging behaviors. People with low self-esteem sabotage their results without even knowing. In their quest to avoid feeling certain negative emotions, they take unwise actions which often have negative consequences. For example, an entrepreneur might feel negative emotions when he talks to new business prospects. This will make him avoid talking to new business prospects, which over time will limit his business volume. Having a hard time opening up to people in an authentic and meaningful way. This represents quite a struggle for people with low self-esteem because it prevents them from enjoying healthy relationships. Unless you are able to open up to another person and be vulnerable to him or her, you will not develop a strong emotional connection. You might have a physical connection, based on lust, but definitely not a strong emotional one. Of course, I'm not implying that one should open up emotionally so the other person can read his emotions and take advantage of him. No, the process of emotionally opening up is to involve both parties. Otherwise, one partner emotionally manipulates the other person. Caring too much about what other people think of you. When you care too much about the opinions of others, you will do excessive things to please them. You might also avoid taking actions towards your goals and dreams so you avoid upsetting them. This doesn't have to be conscious. You could simply do this unconsciously and have a muted fear of what other people may think or say when they will see that you have surpassed them. Not seeing things and circumstances for what they are. Low self-esteem people also have to deal with additional anxieties and attention deficits which happen simply because they avoid looking at things from certain perspectives. And when you do this, you don't see things for what they are. You look at circumstances only from certain angles and you avoid taking on other, possibly unpleasant, perspectives. When you feel negative emotions towards a situation, a good technique is to ask yourself, why do I feel this negative emotion? You will probably find out that your negative emotions point towards problems that need to be addressed. Having all sorts of problems with relationships. Low self-esteem struggles are especially encountered in relationships. Many of them are invisible to the person itself. For example, a person might be resentful towards her partner because he doesn't give her enough attention. On the surface, this trait doesn't seem to indicate low self-esteem, but below the surface this is exactly what it indicates. It's nothing wrong with demanding a certain degree of attention from your partner. But if you feel resentful that he or she doesn't comply with your demand for attention, then you have to look inside. Why do you want so much this attention? What not getting it implies? You will find out that bitterness when it comes to not getting enough attention has to do most of the time with not loving yourself unconditionally. This lack of self-love might be there because you didn't get enough love and appreciation in your childhood. Some of it can and should be filled by the love of another person. But some of it, especially the deeper emotional layers, has to be filled by oneself, because otherwise you will demand too much than it's humanly possible from your partner. At the end of the day, your partner is another human being like yourself and not your servant whose purpose in life is to satisfy all your emotional needs. The above are some of the most common low self-esteem struggles. You can come up with many more. Think about how you can solve them so you smash them out of your life. In the end, they bring only unnecessary suffering and there's no useful purpose in continuing to engage in them.